Tanner leans back in his chair, cracks his knuckles, and takes a deep breath in before performing his nightly ritual and getting a good night's rest. Look at him, saucier than a fucking Big Mac, diced to the gills and looking like a myostatin deficiency silverback gorilla. I bet he eats Trenbolone sandwiches for breakfast and gets his divine protein shakes from Connor Murphy. You really think he's natty, bro? He's so anabolic he could take a piss in the Amazon rainforest and bring it back to life overnight. Wake the fuck up, nobody gets that brolic without being juicier than a watermelon Capri Sun. Tanner's gotten so worked up during his rant that he's begun sweating profusely. Nothing that an Oreo ice cream milkshake can't fix though. He closes the browser to r/Nadia Juice, gulps down his post-workout meal, and dozes off. When I was younger, one of the strongest feelings I had about myself was this notion that I wasn't good enough. You know, my mom always used to tell me that I was perfect, like a lot of moms would, and you know, I believed her because in my mind, I was speaking to one of my creators. And, you know, so I tried to be perfect, but of course it was impossible. You know, I was flawed and I still am flawed like every other person out there in the world. And, you know, as a result, I started focusing on all of these deficiencies that I had, you know. The fact that I stuttered, the fact that I had man boobs, the fact that I had acne and acne scars. And the more I started focusing on these things, the more it brought down my self-esteem, the worse I felt about myself. And, you know, the worse I felt about myself, the more closed off I became from life, from the people around me, and even from the world, it seems. And so one of the things that I always wanted was to be able to have a six-pack. I felt like if I'm able to achieve that, you know, I can finally have a sense of confidence in myself. But more than anything, I wanted to live up to this unrealistic ideal of being so-called perfect. So I started lifting when I was around 12 years old, and I made some progress, but I was never able to achieve that six-pack that I had originally set for myself, that goal. And the problem was that, you know, even though I was doing something positive like working out, I had such a negative self-image that I was unconsciously holding myself back. And I was so closed off and isolated from other people that even if they wanted to help me, you know, they couldn't because I wouldn't let them. And so the more I did something positive, like trying to work out, trying to better myself, the worse I actually felt about myself, because deep down, you know, I felt like it wouldn't really make much of a difference in the end. But to make matters worse, I also felt terrible about myself if I chose not to work out, because that meant that I wasn't working towards my goals. And so I ended up becoming very extreme, and working out became something like self-torture to me. It even got to the point at one time where, you know, I did a diet where I would eat for 3 days out of the week and then fast for the other 4 days. And, you know, even when I finally achieved my six-pack, I still wasn't happy with my results. And so that's when I knew something needed to change. And that's when I started talking to Goggins. Goggins is one of the most respected men of his tribe. He's conquered every obstacle that has been put in his path and has maxed out his stats in both vitality and finances. Nobody is more shredded than him, and only a few drive a car as fast as his. But one area he's always struggled in was with relationships. He has no problem attracting female mates, but he's never known how to settle down into a more long-term family-oriented role. He still retains his ancestral hunter-gatherer mindset, and so he's gotten used to change and adventure rather than sticking around in one place. So one day Goggins decided to see one of his elders for advice and ask, "How can I settle down into a family life?" To which the elder responds, "What are the people like that you spend the most time with?" "My friends are strong and goal-oriented. They achieve what they desire no matter what, and they love the adventure that life takes them on. I guess they're like me," Goggins says. "Are they like you, or are you like them?" the elder simply says before walking off. So this got me thinking, who are the people that I've been surrounding myself with, and are they excelling in the areas of life that I want to excel at? I realized that, you know, I had cut myself off from so many people that my only real friend at the time was me, myself, and I, and I wasn't really a model for success by any means. And so what that meant was I just needed to find people that were, you know, high achievers in the areas that I wanted to excel at, and then just become more like them. You see, we become like the people that we interact with the most. And so if I wanted to be successful in life, I just needed to model myself after someone who had already achieved what I wanted to achieve. And so I started started applying this wisdom not only to my health, but also to the two other most important aspects of life, relationships and finances. As I've begun modeling myself after people that I've resonated with who have been successful in those three vital areas of life, the results have been miraculous, to say the least. I've been able to cure myself of type 2 diabetes, double my testosterone naturally, improve my body composition, clear up my acne, all of which has, drastically improved my health and my self-image. Started working on my own business, and the ladies are starting to take notice as well, if you know what I'm saying. And so because I've been able to surround myself with these positive, uplifting, inspiring people, I've been able to really realize, what's actually possible in the world. And I realized that even though I can't be perfect, it's no excuse not to be excellent. But the most amazing thing of all is, how I've been able to positively influence my self-image so that I stop self-sabotaging myself in all my efforts, and, I start living the life of my dreams. I start living on my own terms. Alright guys, so I hope you liked that video, and if not, feel free to leave some comments on how I can make it better. If this is a topic you want to learn more about, feel free to check out my free mastermind guide where I'm going to teach you the philosophy of a winner. I'm going to teach you how the mind works and how to get it working for you rather than against you, and the exact tactics I use to positively influence my self-image. So yeah, I hope that helps, and as always, keep dreaming while you're awake. Peace.
You ever wonder what it feels like when dreams bleed into real life? Seen scenes from TV get realized. Palm trees, a soft breeze and chilled ice till tides wash away our problems in the spilled wine.